Who's the real populist in the presidential race? According to Pennsylvania voters, it might just be Donald J. Trump. That's a takeaway from a Franklin and Marshall poll released this week. Harris is up 3 points in the polling. That's within the margin of error, but there are stratifications among the subtabs, and one of them is lower income, poor educated voters resoundingly going to Donald Trump. For example, white voters with no college degree, they're going for Trump 53% to 35%. However, white voters with college degrees are going to Harris by even a bigger margin, 62% to 28%. That's staggering. With all voters, high school or less education, Trump has a 2-to-1 advantage, 59% to 29%. However, with those with college degrees, Harris is up 61% to 30%. I look at a lot of these polls. I see this stratification over and over again, but this is one of the most stunning I've seen yet. This extends to income levels too. With those making under $35,000 a year, Trump is up 48% to 38%, 10-point lead for the former president. However, with voters making more than $75,000 a year, Kamala Harris does even better, 52% to 38%. This is regardless of ethnicity, race, anything like that. Just strictly comes down to income level. Also in play here is where people live. Donald Trump does great with certain groups, medium metros, micropolitan areas, people living outside of any of these sort of designations. He's over 50% with all of them. However, Kamala Harris has some strengths here also, including being up 70% to 20% in what's called central metro areas. Think downtown Philadelphia for this. And also, speaking of Philadelphia, she's up in that region of the state 59% to 38%. What this tells me is that Donald Trump is having a hard time in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And, given that that's where a lot of the votes are banked, that could be trouble on election night. So long story short, when you look at these poll numbers, it tells us that some things might have changed in the presidential race between 2020 and now, including the Democratic candidate, but the election dynamic may be frustratingly similar. And it's one to watch through November and beyond.